Minecraft 1.20 has arrived, and along with all of the amazing new features, we have a ton of bugs. So here are 20 new bugs from the Minecraft 1.20 Trails and Tales update that you might not have noticed. There's a way to instant harvest and instantly grow sniffers, and it's just the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. So you can do this in vanilla survival. I know it looks like it's creative or commands or something, but it actually is legit. I just tried it out. So all you need is a sticky piston on a clock like this, and then 2 moss blocks. So you put the sniffer egg right here, and then you need to let this run on the clock for 10 minutes. I know it's kind of stupid, but this one needs to hatch legit. Once that one actually hatches, then you can grow a sniffer egg on the moss, and it'll actually instantly grow. And you can do this on both of the moss blocks, actually. So this will save you legitimately so much time. I am totally in favor of using this bug. It definitely does not take 10 minutes for them to hatch using this method either, because every time that you move the egg, it gets that little bone meal effect right there, and that actually does speed up the growth of the egg. And then every egg that you place there afterwards grows up significantly faster as well. It might not be instant, but it definitely is not 10 minutes either. So this is actually a legitimately good method of hatching sniffers. I would highly recommend it. These guys are so incredibly slow and painful to deal with anyway. As you know, Mojang has removed the ability to put large mobs into boats, such as horses, but baby mobs, such as baby horses, can still get into the boat, and then if you grow them up, they'll actually stay in the boat. So you can get illegal mobs in boats now, and as you can see, they'll just stay in there forever. So it's still technically possible. It's just really annoying. I don't know why they removed this feature in the first place. I mean, the horse clearly fits inside of the boat. It should just be a feature. Come on, like, roll it back, Mojang. Here's something that you guaranteed cannot explain. So if you have a carpet at your head layer while you're inside of a boat, it's gonna turn the entire screen black for no good reason. Even if you're in second or third person, it doesn't matter. So weird. Why is the game like this? This bug isn't the end of the world, but the hitbox for the horizontal end rod is actually vertical, as you can see right there. But if you try and stand on top of it, as you can see, it's still horizontal for no good reason. Now, this only affects it when you're trying to break it. As you can see, if you try and punch like right here, you can't punch it. You gotta look at the very middle where the actual hitbox shows up. So you might think, of course, this is completely useless and has no meaning on anything ever in life, but you're wrong. It's actually like a redstone listed Trident Killer, and also the bug with the black screen shows up. So if you're inside of that end rod, then, you know, here's that. But also, what I'm trying to show is if you throw a trident directly on top of that weird little hitbox, it turns into a Trident Killer. And it does actually work. As you can see, if we put ourselves a creeper in there, he actually gets hit by the trident. So who knows how long this bug will last. It'll either be fixed in the next update, or we'll have it for like 2 years. So they're not really relog proof. As you can see, the tridents do fall down, but they're still stuck inside of the hitbox, and it's still a functional Trident Killer, which is really wild. But yeah, once you relog twice, it falls through. So it's not like super reliable. I wouldn't really recommend using this, but it's technically possible. So even if you stack up end rods like this, it's still gonna fall down every time that you relog. It's just gonna last a little bit longer. Still good for a noise machine and annoying your friends though. An old school bug of Bedrock Edition has found its way back into the game. So when you're suffocating, like when you're inside of a solid block, you'll notice that we have the air bubbles down there. So even if you don't die from the suffocation, you'll actually drown while you're inside of these blocks. Now, of course, this means that if you have a water-breathing potion, you won't take any suffocation damage while suffocating. So you can actually be perfectly fine inside of these blocks as long as you have water breathing. This was on Bedrock Edition back around like 2018 time, and it got removed back then. So it used to be that even if you had fire resistance, you would still drown while inside of lava, but luckily that does not happen anymore. So yeah, on Bedrock Edition, you used to need fire resistance and water breathing to survive under lava. It was quite silly. Another pretty new bug this update is these huge light lines underneath the ocean. You might have noticed these along chunk borders. They are just absolutely everywhere in the ocean. I don't know why they happen, but I don't think there's any real way to fix it besides maybe relog or just completely ignore them. Block updates don't really have much effect on these things, so yeah, basically just ignore them. They're kind of all over the place in the oceans though. You may have noticed a bug where items that you're holding are like 30 times larger than they should be in your hand, and that is just a texture pack bug. Sometimes this happens every other update, and yeah, just see if you need a new update to your texture pack. Otherwise, it's just kind of funny. There's a bug with everybody's favorite feature, armor trimming, and the achievement that goes along with it. So this is the achievement right here where you need to apply all of these smithing templates at least once: Spire, Snout, Rib, Ward, Silence, Vex, Tide, and Wayfinder. However, people have gone and done every single one of the armor trims and it still hasn't popped. So if it hasn't popped for you, well, it's just a little bit bugged. Don't worry about it. Hopefully it'll be fixed in the next update, and hopefully you made a copy of your Silence armor trim. That way you don't need to go raid another 20 ancient cities to find it again. And now for some quickfire small bugs that you might have noticed in Minecraft 1.20. There's a bug with cherry leaves where they'll prevent all saplings from growing. It doesn't matter what type of sapling it is, doesn't matter how much you spam it with bone meal, those cherry leaves are going to stop the sapling from growing. So you need to actually remove all of the leaves and then you can grow a regular tree. Really annoying. And this bug has been in the game multiple times before. It happened with azalea leaves. There's also a bug with pink petals where they cannot be bone mealed by a dispenser even though they should be able to. This makes it so that you can't build a automatic pink petal farm. Of course, you can still spam it with an hotkey or something, but that's not the point, man. It's just not the point. Lava cauldrons have been broken as well. As you can see, we got a regular lava cauldron, and then a dark lava cauldron, and then a half-filled one, and then a third-filled one. These are actually water cauldrons, so if you put water in there, it just looks like lava for no good reason, and then you can take some water out of that using bottles. And yeah, the texture is just totally broken. Another mild bug that's kind of odd is if you name a stack of candles and then place one of them, that actually removes the name from all of the other candles. As you can see, the entire stack is now unnamed. This also affects sea pickles as well. Now, I'm sure it probably affects a bunch of other things, but I tried like regular blocks. It doesn't affect those, or anvils. Bone mealing stuff underwater just does not work anymore. It used to be able to get like grass and the little corals and stuff, and now it just consumes the bone meal and it doesn't give you anything at all. And of course it affects farms too, because bone meal dispensers also don't work. This next bug is just crazy to think about, but there is a 64% chance that you are not subscribed to the channel right now. If you subscribe right now, you could help us reach 600,000. Okay, thanks, bye. There's also a weird bug with water and pistons. So pistons pushing into water will make the stone breaking noise and particles. It's kind of hard to hear over the sound of the piston, but it is there. And as you can see, they generate a lot of particles. It's basically the same as the stone breaking sound and particles. Glass has a weird texture bug with it when you're building underwater with it. As you can see, the top layer of the water is actually visible underneath the glass, and that really ruins the aesthetic of it. So if you're building anything with glass underwater, it just kind of instantly looks way worse, just because that water is visible, and it's not visible with like solid blocks, for example. Another tree growing bug. So you know how normally saplings can be planted on moss and then you can grow them up and then they turn the moss into dirt? Well, that doesn't happen for acacia. You cannot grow acacia on a moss block no matter how much you try, no matter how much you will it into existence. It just cannot grow on that moss block. So every other sapling can be grown on moss blocks except the acacia, which is oddly specific. Mojang has arguably removed the best feature in Minecraft. I mean, we can no longer sleep underwater anymore. It just simply will not let you. This was here in 1.19, and now it's been removed in 1.20. I think I'm just gonna call it quits, guys. And can you hear that? There's sniffer noises. We're very far away from all these sniffers, but we can still hear them loudly and clearly. If that was something like cows, we would not be able to hear them from this distance. The distance that you can hear them from is just way too high. You've probably noticed this, but the tops of the trail's ruins are completely disconnected from the bottoms of the trail ruins, and considering how massive these things are, we really don't need any extra difficulty trying to find them. Also, this one is like two structures on top of each other. I'm not sure if they're supposed to double up like that. Overall, these things are a giant mess. They're hard to navigate, and it would just be nice if the bottoms were actually connected to the top like they're supposed to be. If you like this video, drop a like, maybe subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys down in the comments and in the next one.